Our time is coming to an end. No, our time.
Ew.
Our time in Costa Rica
No,
is coming to an end.
Stop.
I'm building tension.
How about excitement for what's coming?
Yeah. I know.
Don't cry about what's ending. Be grateful for what you've had.
Yeah, that's right. We are going from Costa Rica to Panama and we're taking our car. And what we'd like to do in this video is demonstrate the processes that we needed to go through in order to drive across the border. For entertainment value, we're going to share the story of Scott and Kathy getting paperwork in San Jose, as well as crossing the border into Panama. But if you clicked on this video hoping to learn what was necessary in order to get documentation to take your car across the border, here basically in one screen is what you need to do. While still in Costa Rica, and as we understand it needs to happen in the National Registry office in San Jose, is that you'll need to get an exit permit for your car. And once you receive it, it gives you a window of 1 month to cross the border with your vehicle. When you get to the border on the Costa Rica side, you'll need to get that exit permit stamped at the customs office. You'll need to pay an exit fee for yourself. We've heard that there's an exit fee for the car, but we didn't have to pay it in our experience. And then when you get to the Panama side of the border, you'll need to have your paperwork reviewed. You'll need to purchase insurance for your vehicle while you're in Panama and get copies of your documentation. Your car will get stamped into the country on your passport, and you'll receive an aduana form, which is a customs form allowing you to temporarily import your car into Panama. And then you yourself will get stamped into the country on your passport and you're ready to go. Now, one last thing is that the customs form for your vehicle is valid for 1 month, which means that if you're staying for longer than 1 month in Panama, like we are, you'll need to renew that paperwork each month. So that's all the stuff you need. Easy, right? Have you ever thought that something would go different in your head than it actually did? So let us tell you the story of what actually happened. We are going to Panama for a month, 3 months, 6 months. We bought a car in Panama. No, we bought a car in Costa Rica a few months ago, and now we want to drive it to Panama. What's so funny about that? I thought it was good.
Right. We are planning on going to Panama for the first time. We're taking our car across the border. Now, this is a car that we bought in Costa Rica, so it is registered in Costa Rica. There are a few things you need to take care of in order to take a Costa Rican registered licensed car over to Panama. And we did a little bit of research, so we felt prepared. Sort of. So we want to share that with you so that you can have an easier time of it than we did. It really wasn't that bad, but so we'll share step by step.
One of the first things you need to do in order to take the car across the border is you need to get a permit from the Costa Rican government that gives you permission to drive your car across the border.
San Jose is where you need to get the exit permit. We had a form to fill out before we actually got there.
You can download it off the internet.
Scott filled it out before we got there.
There's not a lot of information that you need. It's basic stuff like your name, passport number, indicate whether or not you own the car.
Long story short, we got to the entrance, found the place no problem. Google Maps was great for that. Really, everyone there was very, very friendly, helping us out. They were speaking only Spanish, and they were speaking Spanish very quickly.
I think we sound like toddlers when we're speaking.
So it was a bit of an adventure for us.
And we did know that there were going to be some steps. We didn't know exactly what steps. You'd likely have to go from one place to another to another. First part of the adventure was parking. So we pulled in off the street, and there's, what do you call those things that come down in front of you?
Gates?
Yeah, a gate.
I don't know.
That's a gate.
So the gate's closed, right?
Right.
The arm has to be lifted for us to get in, of course.
And there's
yeah.
a couple of gentlemen dressed in what look like security
Uniforms.
driving in. They opened up the gate, and
So
so
Scott just
I just
going.
started driving in. The cat is going, wait. So I stopped.
And so we had the form, right, ahead of time. So we pointed it, like showed it to him. See, here's, yeah. Oh.
And then told us where to go park.
But he was very emphatic with the pointing. You go this way and then that way. And so I understood that, I thought. We got there to where the entrance of the building was, and all of the parking spots there where I thought he had told us to park were for wheelchair parking. So we kind of hummed and hawed a bit. Should we park there? No, we shouldn't. And I was certain, no. They wouldn't direct us to a spot where it's for wheelchair parking. So I suggested Scott go find another one. No. They were chasing us around the parking lot.
No. That parking spot was reserved. So again, through hand gestures and some broken Spanish on our part, we discovered that no, they actually intended for us to park in the handicap.
All throughout today's experience, it's really easy in retrospect to understand what they were telling us. That made sense. It's like, okay, yeah, they were telling us actually to park in that spot that we thought, no, not telling us to park there. So fair enough. Scott moves the car.
Went back, got the car, moved around.
And then we proceed to go into the building. Okay, I got that.
Yeah,
We
that
can go
makes
with
sense.
information and we'll find out what we need to do.
Yeah. And the young fellow with the information did speak some English.
A little bit.
Yeah. So he directed us, again, pretty emphatically.
Very dramatically, yes. Tres. So I thought he was saying the third door. So there is a central part in this building that it's like a circle. And above, like you'll know you're in the right place if you're in that circle part, and there's murals in the top part of the wall, like above in the ceiling. We were over in the information and he was telling us to go pretty much across down a hallway, but the left part, we didn't pay attention to that. We needed to go to a...
Where did you get left?
He told us left. Yeah. But we were looking down the right of the hallway at all the doors on the right. We didn't look.
Yeah.
So anyway, this woman in another room down at the end of the hall, she was watching us and she said something to us in Spanish and like we just kind of did this. I showed her the form and she was trying to tell us very quickly in Spanish what to do, where to go. And we kept hearing plataforma.
Plataforma.
Yeah, we got that. We got
Lots of times.
plataforma, but we didn't know where we needed to go before we had to go to plataforma. It's still in hallway 3. So she took us out of the room, still at the end of the hallway, and she was talking very, very fast. Scott was looking at his phone and kind of deer in headlights at her. So
I had my translator app on my phone and I'm trying to type in something.
Nothing.
And
He was just looking at her deer in headlights. So she
nothing was
continued
registering.
speaking very quickly and just looked at me.
It was
And-
kind of one of those things where, okay, you're an idiot.
Yeah. And so I was really, really paying attention, trying to grasp what she was saying, and she stopped talking, and I had none of it. And she laughed, grabbed my elbow, and pulled me down the hallway. So,
There was the cashier on the left-hand side of the hallway. Little tiny hole in the wall, one of those places where you slide.
it's just a booth. It's a booth with a glass window.
That's where we were supposed to pay and get the timbre, which is the receipt. We got the receipt and another piece of paper that had 3 stamps on it.
It's a green form that he gave us. Nothing filled out, just blank with the stamps on it.
It looked like postage stamps
yeah, it
or
looked like
green
postage
stamps.
stamps. Then we went back to the information booth because we didn't know where to go from there. We knew we had to go to plataforma,
Yeah, and it was generally
the other direction.
the other direction, but yeah, didn't really know specifically.
No.
There was another person there who didn't speak English. She told us that we had to go that way and really just gestured to the
hallway.
And then we had to go to the platform.
So we did.
So
we went that
we
way
did.
with our papers in hand.
And then directly in front of us, there was a set of doors.
So we went through there. And so it's a room, basically, very secure room.
It was like a room full of bank tellers.
Bank
like-
tellers is what it looked like, yeah.
Yeah.
So they just directed us to stand in this spot on the floor and
Actually, they were really specific. Right here in this spot, stand here.
yeah. So we got to go to Jessica. And she was saying a word. Well, she was saying a phrase, and we caught a little bit of it, and we just kept repeating, copa, copa, copa.
And I'm trying to look it up on my phone.
Yeah, copa. No, we can't get it. And she's like, what do you need? English. Oh, okay. We need to take the car out of the country. We showed her the papers.
Again, window with a little slot.
Circled a thing and handed it to us. It says 8,836 colones. And Scott said, we paid that. So we're like, we have to pay again?
We thought, okay, this must be step number 2.
Scott went to use the card and she said, no, cash only. Okay, so we gave her cash. Anyway, then she gave us this nice long receipt with a stamp on it. And we didn't have to go into that room. That room that we went into, we did not have. At that point, we were walking out to the information area. And I'm like, okay, good, we're paid. We can go. And Scott's like, no, we need to get a certificate. And I'm like, we do, we have it. We have the...
This is just a receipt, Kathy.
No,
it's not a certificate.
We had the other paper. It was green. It said certificate. It said certificate. And he's like, no, what if that's not it? We have to go. And I'm like, well, you could come back.
Back to the information for the 3rd time. Poor woman at the information saying, plataforma.
Yeah.
Through the doors, the plataforma.
Turn
and there was a
left.
gentleman walking by. He said, can I help you?
Yes.
Thank God, yes.
So we just scurried along behind him. He was leading us to the plataforma. As we're walking up with him, we're almost outside, and I didn't know where my passport was. And I only had Scott's passport. We had to leave the man.
The helpful gentleman who spoke English had to go. Yeah, Kathy is starting to get a little bit concerned at this point.
Duh. So I'm looking through my purse. Of course I'm concerned. You just think you know. Went to the information booth, but there was somebody at the booth. I had Scott's passport in my hand, and I said to them as we came through the door, mi pasaporta. And they're nodding and smiling.
That's good. You have a passport. Good for you.
And then the person in the information booth, she held up my passport. Thank you. Okay, so we got the passport. Just a minor delay.
But we knew which way to go to the platform.
Yeah.
It's actually, you have to go outside, leave the building.
Up the sidewalk.
And past some vendors who are selling pastries and there's a taxi stand right out front.
People asking if you want a taxi. It's like, no, we gotta get the exit paper.
There's a big red gate. The security guard is standing at it and showed our paperwork again. And he said, and he radioed ahead, walked up to the entrance. The fellow inside asked us to wait. He directed us, actually walked us over to a lineup. So he asked us to wait in the lineup. There was like yellow tape sort of zigzagging on the floor.
He pointed directly at the spot where we should stand. So I did.
And I just thought we had to stand between the lines, not actually stand on the tape. I didn't really notice. So I'm standing beside her in the open space of the line. He said, no, stand on the line.
There's really definite marked spots where you're supposed to stand and keep your space between the person that is. Oh, we were so good. Yeah. So savvy.
Mm-hmm. We waited in line. Yeah. And actually, when we got to the end of the line,
he brought us over. So that was very kind. Okay, so we go over to that teller, and she spoke a little bit of English, which was really good. We had to show our passports. We had to prove that we were the owners of the car, so we did have to have the car registration with us. And she took the green form and the form that Scott had filled out before, and she was doing a bunch of things, entering the details into the computer, and then she gave us this form here. That is the total, like that shows how we get out of the country. It's got our information on it and everything. Scott had said originally you have to have the receipt attached to your form, right? So our receipts are all separate. So I just said to her, the receipt, do we need to, and she said, did you pay? Yes, and so we gave her the receipts and she went, you paid twice. Oh no.
I think we bought Jessica lunch.
But anyway, so it was fairly painless, a few little moments, but if we had understood Spanish, we would have had so much more ease. But everybody was very helpful for us.
Yeah.
All told, we were there for 45 minutes or just an
Maybe
hour.
an hour, yeah.
So if we hadn't have lost the passport and we didn't go into a second room to pay twice, it would have probably been half an hour tops. Now we went Monday morning at, it was 9:45 when we got there. So fairly early, and it was like getting quite busy when we were in the lineup at the end in the plataforma. So
We kind of steeled ourselves that this might take an hour, it might take 3 hours, it might be a multi-day
yeah,
event.
it really wasn't that bad.
No, not bad at all. And we
Yeah.
have our certificate, which means we can take our car out of the country.
Next step is we cross the border. We'll see how that goes.
In all often theaters, take the ramp to Autopista Prospero Fernandez, Route 27.
I'm going to go to Autopista Rusta Fernandez.
Today we're leaving the San Jose area. We've been here for about a month and we've thoroughly enjoyed it. More so than we expected, I think.
Yeah, it was really fun being. Well, I really enjoyed being in Barrio Escalante. Window washers. There's like a whole horde of them here. They want to wash our window for money, of course. So where was I? Oh yeah, staying in Barrio Escalante was lots of fun because everything's within walking distance. Trying not to run over the motorbike guy. Everything's within walking distance, and there's a bajillion excellent restaurants.
Oh, it's such a foodie paradise. We found a few favorites and we definitely will list them in the description, but there's so many that we didn't even get a chance to try. We'll be back for sure. And now the next adventure is we're making our way to Uvita first as a stopover in Costa Rica and then to the Panama border. So far, it's relatively painless. We had to go to this aduana customs office and get our car paper stamped in the aduana office in the back hallway.
Yeah, it's tucked in behind the cashiers for the customs office.
So the cashiers, you can't pay on Sunday.
Yeah, you scan the QR code and then you pay online. You have to do each person individually. You can't pay a group.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have to show the receipts online.
No, which was interesting. And then you go to the teller at the back end. That is a exit teller. So it's Salid. And she checked our passport, stamped our passport, and we're good to go. So we've got the car paper stamped. We paid $8 US each to leave the country.
Departure tax. Yep.
And we got our passport stamped.
Yep.
So I think we're good. Now
Yep.
we just venture onto the Panama side. But it's so busy here.
It's a busy town.
It's crazy right beside the border. It's packed full of little shops and people all over the place, walking all over the highway and buses, and it's busy.
Yep.
And it's Sunday. I wonder what it's like on
A busy day.
All right, let's go try this.
And that's the Panama border where we'll be heading next. Okay, fingers crossed.
So that was relatively painless. It took us an hour total. That was from the Costa Rica side. Yeah, okay. An hour total. So we got to the Panama side. We parked where it looked like we should park. Junior was his name. He was waving us over. So
We have a friendly fella helping us. You want to say hi? You too? He's helping us get our car taken across. We need to have our passport stamped into the country, of course. The car stamped into the country. This fellow came up to us at the curb, the customs office, and offered to help us out for only $20. I think I'm negotiating with him, see how well I do. I think he's going to win.
we got out of the car. We had to take the car title, the aduana certificate that we just got stamped, and our passports to a booth, a teller booth, I guess. and then they said, go get the everything copied. So we had to go across the street. Junior was leading us, go across the street and then pay for copies for all of it. The car title, the aduana, the customs immigration form for the car, the import thing for the car, and our passports.
You need to have a copy of your certificate to bring your car over, your passport, and your owner's registration. This is what it costs to copy that. No, this is what it costs for a regular copy.
So, okay, we were a little bit cheeky about what we thought was the price for photocopies of documents for our car. Actually, that price included insurance for the month for the car while in Panama, and it is important to have that insurance in order to get your aduana paperwork.
Then we came back to the near where our car was parked, and then we had to show the copies to that same booth again, where she told us to go get the copies. Then we went into the customs area where we could get stamped into Panama. So we had to have fingerprints done and photograph and
thumbprints.
Yeah, finger and thumbprints. And then we both got 180 days. However, we go back to the spot where she told us to go get the copies. She looked at the car, title, everything, blah, blah, blah. We got approved for 30 days with the car in Panama. So we can go back to another aduana office in aduana, I don't even know how to say
Aduana, that's right.
in Panama City and renew it every 30 days. Thank you so much for your help, Junior, because it would have been a nightmare if we were trying to figure out all those back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to all the different areas. I definitely recommend finding somebody who can help you out with that, and unless your Spanish is impeccable.
Yes,
but
and you know exactly what
and you know what you're doing. Maybe you'll know because we're sharing this, but
So Junior, his services cost $20 US, and I think it was well worth it.
definitely worth it. This is a part of the highway just outside of David in Panama. It's a very pretty highway. The roads are in excellent shape and respectful driving. Scott just found a section that is 100 kilometers, which up until now it's been 60.
It's mostly 60.
60, 80, 60.
Yeah, and everyone adheres to the speed limit. There's certainly a lot more police than we've witnessed in Costa Rica on the side of the road. 100. I can't even bring myself to drive 100 right now.
Let's do it. Come on, do it.
I don't know if the car would. There we go.
But yeah, it's a very nice highway so far. Okay, on to David.
Future Scott Kathy here. We've been 1 month in Panama, and it's time to renew our aduana and renew our insurance.
First of all, we were told when we came into Panama that we would have to go to the aduana, get aduana renewed in 30 days. So we went directly to the aduana office, and they told us we have to go pay for the insurance. Seguro?
Seguro.
Seguro. So we had to go find that office. Anyway, found it, and it took quite a while we were in there, but there was when...
Okay. There was a young woman who was very pregnant, and she was sitting on the couch, and she got up to leave and left a little change purse on the couch. And I noticed it, and I pointed it out to one of the
people
staff.
that work there.
And they were wondering who it belonged to. And so she went around the office, and I couldn't think of what to say. So I said, it's La Chica. And then I made a gesture.
Like,
I think they thought I was calling somebody fat.
They didn't
get it at first, and then they're like, "Oh, you're raising us up."
Oh,
higher
okay,
and
okay,
higher."
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so then the rest of the time that we were in there, everybody walking past.
I was the butt of everybody's joke.
So anyway, I think we made their day.
But the main thing is there's a 2-step process to renewing your aduana so you can continue to drive in Panama.
With a foreign car.
So the first step is you have to get your insurance, which is segura. And then you take that insurance paperwork to the aduana office and they'll issue you a new aduana.
Yeah.
It's very important to have that because we've been stopped several times in road checks and the police ask for our aduana.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they definitely look at it.
So next step, the aduana's office. But that's going to be tomorrow morning. And today it's step 2, which is actually obtaining the aduana.
I think now that we've done this process twice in 2 different places now, I understand what the papers are for. So it is actually bringing your car in, you get the permission for that, but you also have to pay the insurance. 2 separate steps. The first time we came in, it was like all one mixed big step. And now here in David, we understand it's 2 steps. We've already paid for the insurance for the next month. So all we have to do next time is get the aduana.
And the insurance for our vehicle, which is an older vehicle, was $25
$25 US for
a month. We were expecting up to $300 insurance. So it's a nice surprise that it's only $25.
Yeah.
And the aduana, the actual paperwork for the aduana is free. It doesn't cost anything. And we want to say thanks to Hector, who is very helpful and very patient with us.
Very patient, very kind as well in the David aduana office.
So now we can drive for another month. We were expecting up to $300. So quite pleasantly surprised.
I told you. I'm gonna sneeze.
Relevant.